Right. Yay. Happy Monday, you guys. I don't know. I'm having a moment here, but with this weird freaking week that has happened, with everything that's going on, I, for one, am so thankful that we have these team calls, that we have this to look forward to, that we have each other, that we have this awesome community to honestly pour into and just focus on, because it could be real easy to focus on the negative. And I urge you guys to avoid at all possible, getting sucked into that, getting sucked into your news feeds, getting sucked into what other people are saying, other people are posting, and just continuing to do you and do your journey and be a light for other people and show people what they can do during times like this, right? Just a very, very weird time. But again, we have so much to be thankful for. And so I am really excited about tonight's team call and our guest speaker tonight. It's so cool because honestly, it's like such a full circle moment for me. One of the awesome things about this community, here, let me share my screen so I can show you guys. So one of the awesome things about this is the fact that Julie is actually a coach that I remember following when I first started coaching. And here we are 3 years later, you guys. Like, I started in March of 2017, started coaching in July, and I remember following Julie. Like, Julie was one of the coaches that I looked up to as a new coach. And I remember her working out in her apartment gym with her husband that's in the picture there. And just her being such a positive, like, light source. Like, she was so stinking positive. And I remember seeing her go to Summit, all of these things, all of these little memories I have of following her. And, then have it, life happen. I lose touch with her, and here we are. I find her again. And you guys, like, let me just break this down for you. Okay. So obviously she is a wife. She is a Christ follower. She is now a mom to her 1-year-old boy, Ezekiel, who is there. Oh my God, like, so cute. If you want to go check her out at Mrs. Julie Kemp to look at all of the adorable pictures. But she is actually pregnant again with a baby girl. So she has a baby girl on the way. She has been coaching, like I said, since October of 2016. So not even that long. She is a registered nurse, now full-time coach. I believe she still works part-time now. You'll have to clarify that, Julie. And she's a Success Club 10 All-Star. So for those of you, legend. So for those of you who are newer and don't know what that means, so that means that she has hit Success Club 10, aka helped at least 5 people a month for at least 24 months. So 2 years, over 2 years, she's been in at Success Club 10 consistently. She is now a 2-time elite, and literally, she just announced this as of Friday. Her team is currently ranked number 9 in the entire network. Like, insane. So I asked her to speak to us tonight to just share some of her story, some of her wisdom, her best tips, anything that she was willing to just pour into us tonight. I wanted her to come and share. So I am so excited, and I'm going to just stop my share and let you take it away, Julie.
Yay. Thank you guys for having me. I'm praying it's like raining and starting to storm here. So I'm praying my internet holds up. We're all going to pray together. But first of all, I just want to say that like little list of accolades with coaching is awesome and like really hilarious to hear that those are me, because I remember like not even long ago just being like seeing other coaches with these long lists of like accomplishments and elite and things I didn't even know what they meant at the time, and thinking like, I'll never be that. Not that I didn't believe in myself, but I was just like, man, that's a huge deal. Like, that's so far away, something only a handful of people achieve. And so if you hear anything from the get-go, like, as we talk tonight, I want you to know I am like so average, you guys. Like there's nothing special about me. I have no like personal training certificate or nutrition certificate, or like I didn't have a big Instagram following when I started. I'm just your average girl that, just had something bigger in her dreams for what she wanted for her life. So I promise you, I'm just like you. I know sometimes when we hear that list of achievements, it's easy to like put somebody in a box of like, oh, I'm not like that. But I promise you are like that. So I want to share just a little bit about my story, how I got plugged into coaching, and then I'm going to share with you guys my top 5 tips for growing your business to be very successful. So I am not one to do PowerPoints, and something I will share is that do things in this business that give you life and joy, and PowerPoints and graphics take me way too long, and I could be inviting people to my group. So take notes. There's going to be 5 main things I want you guys to write down, but I would challenge you to like actively be listening to this. You're already on this call, so don't scroll your challenge groups right now. Time to zone in. So first of all, props for being on this call, because that is one of the best things you can do to be successful. But I want to share first, I guess, before we dive in, a little bit about myself. So I am originally from the Chicago area. I grew up in Naperville, Illinois, and then I went on to be a college cheerleader at the University of Iowa. And kind of once I stopped cheering, it was just like, well, what do I do for fitness now? Like I'd always had somebody telling me what to do, and I was very active with tumbling and stunting, and I never had to worry about it. So naturally, I started running, because what do most of us women do when we don't know how to exercise? And it just eventually got very mundane, very boring. And I, at that point, had graduated college, moved to Dallas to start my nursing career. And just remember feeling like, this is it. Like, I'm so stressed in the hospital. I am way overworked. I don't enjoy what I'm doing right now. And my health and fitness routine sucks. Like, is this adult life? This is what it's supposed to look like? It just felt very empty. I had left the community that I loved from college, and my so-called dream career that I went into because I was so passionate about helping other people and relationships and, just helping people in that way, was something that was sucking so much life out of me that I was like, there's got to be something else that I can do that is part of those passions, but is not draining me. So I, like probably many of you guys, saw a girl that I knew on Instagram who was doing these workouts from home and just looked like she was so full of joy and life. And I just stalked the heck out of her on Insta for way too long. It's very embarrassing. And I saw her going to Summit and just having the best time. So we eventually got connected. I got plugged in her challenge group, and pretty quickly she invited me to coaching. And y'all, I was in a sneak peek 4, maybe 5 times before I ever said yes to coaching. So if you have people that are on your prospect list, I think I ignored a bunch of her messages. Like I was the worst prospect. And she just was persistent with me and kept following up. And so I eventually kind of went to Keegan. This was right after we had gotten married. And I was like, hey, this would be really weird for me to do, right? Like I shouldn't do this. Mostly because I was just so fearful of like, what will other people think of me? And what if I fail? But he was kind of like, yeah, you should go for it. So here's my first thing. Number 1, that I think made me successful kind of from the get-go, or set me up for success from the get-go, is when you sign up as a coach, you have got to be all in. Okay, that's your number 1. You've got to be all in. You cannot dabble in coaching and wait until you feel confident to really start going for it. And when I say all in, like maybe for you that's wanting to be a full-time coach, maybe for you that's wanting to have a part-time income, whatever your specific goal is, you've got to first know what that goal is, and then you need to go all in. None of this like, I'm going to kind of tip my toes in the water, and when I start feeling good at it, then I'll really start running. If you just start running from the beginning, you're going to find success so much faster. Don't wait until you feel ready. You're going to fail forward and learn along the way. The gal who signed me up, she quit coaching 2 weeks later, but she never actually quit her coaching account. So I still have no upline and had nobody to teach me what the heck I was doing. I learned everything I know about coaching through YouTube and Google and other people's training videos that I watched. But I knew if I want to make this happen, I just have to go for it. Second thing about being all in, you guys, is you cannot be the crappy challenger. You can't. If we are going to tell people that they can have life change from these programs, we have got to do programs start to finish. Since the day I signed up to be a coach, which literally right before I had signed up to be a coach, I was doing an entirely different workout program, like not Beachbody related. But I signed up to be a coach, and I knew if I want to be successful and help people be successful, I have to be bought into these. And so from that day, I have done programs start to finish over and over and over and over. This month right now is the first time I've ever done a hybrid program. And still, we're doing the hybrid program start to finish. I will go all in with my challengers because I know that if I am a good challenger, I'm going to produce good challengers, and people watching me are going to know that they're capable of it too. And that is something I've done from day one that has allowed people to watch my journey and see, okay, she's doing it consistently over time for like years. I think she could probably help me do the same thing. So when we're good challengers, we inspire other people that they can have the same life change. So you've got to be all in. Second thing, you have to be intentional with your time. When I signed up to coach, I was still working full-time as a nurse. At that point, I had moved to a clinic, so I was working 8 to 5 at a clinic. I had shortly after that signed up to teach insanity classes, got certified for that, and so I was teaching that twice a week in the evenings. I was also volunteering to lead a youth group multiple nights a week, and I was a newlywed. So like, you guys, you're busy, I get it. Welcome to the club. That's everybody. But you need to find time for what's important to you. So quit binge watching Netflix, quit scrolling social media and saying that you're working. You need to be honest with yourself and say, okay, where do I have time in my day to make this happen? And so for me, that was getting up earlier, which like I know nobody wants to hear, but if I was honest with myself, that was the only time in my day that I knew for sure I was going to be able to get this done. So I would get up at 5 every day. And you know what, you guys, I was actually really excited to get up. I was not someone who'd ever gotten up at 5 a.m. before, but I was so excited to build my business and at the possibility of the doors that this was opening. When my alarm would go off at 5, I was like, okay, let's do this. I'm up to help people. So I would get up at 5, do my quiet time or do my power hour from 5 to 6. And I was looking for my old notebook that I had because it's so funny, but we're like in the midst of moving and I have no idea where it is. But it was this like cheapo, like Target notebook. And I would just at the top of each page each page was like a week, my little boxes for what I was doing for my power hour. Like so simple. And y'all, I'm not the coach that like blew up in her first year. Nobody knew my name. I wasn't elite. Like I didn't replace my income in the first year, but I was very, very, and still am consistent. 3 to 5 people every single day without fail. And I'm a firm believer that if you can invite 3 to 5 people every day, you're going to steadily grow your business. I feel like a lot of times, especially right now, I feel like I'm hearing all these trainings from coaches that are like, sorry, Amy, I hope this is okay that I'm saying this, but that are like, invite 10 to 20 people a day and your business is going to boom. And I'm like, yeah, it probably will, but you're also probably going to get really exhausted really fast. And I know for myself and all of the things that I was involved in, if I was realistic with myself, inviting 3 to 5 consistently was what was going to happen. So some days did I invite more than that? Yes. But for me, that was a minimum of every single Monday through Friday, I'm crossing off that box that I invited at least 3 people. So be intentional with your time. When I was up in the morning from 5 to 6, it was like headphones in, music on, doing my work, and then I was done. And you guys, half the time I would get through my little checklist way faster than an hour. And then I would do my quiet time and like prayer time from 6 to 7, and then I would go to the clinic. And at that point in my day, I knew I had moved my business forward. Super intentional with my time. No scrolling, no like wasting of my time. It was so fast. So be very good about your power hours. Know what you're getting in and doing. And if I can find a picture of that little notebook, I will share it, because it just shows you like how simple you can make this business and grow it. And I did that every day for a year and a half. And a year and a half in, it was when I quit my nursing job and was able to have coaching be my full-time income. I do work about 2 days a week as a nurse, which is fun because I still do love nursing and helping people in that capacity, but I like doing it on my time, not because I have to. And then second thing with like your power hours and sort of being intentional with your time is, you guys, quit wasting your time sending scripted invites. It doesn't matter if you're sending 30 invites a day. If you're just copying, pasting invites to people, they can sniff that out so fast. It will be so much more productive for you to send actual genuine invites to people that you've had conversations with, that you've built a relationship with. Invite like a real human. Like, quit being weird. Quit feeling like you have to have your wording perfectly figured out. Like, I send emojis and typos, and I'm just like myself. I'm just going to invite them like I would invite my best friend. So don't feel like it has to be perfect. Just invite people like, you know, you're a real human, because they're real humans. So be intentional with your time. And along those lines, you guys, like I said, I don't make PowerPoints. I don't make pretty graphics, because for me, that's a time suck. And I would rather do things that bring me joy in the business. And so if you feel like other coaches are making these like amazing, beautiful meal plans, and that is just so much time and effort for you, like, screw the amazing meal plans. Get on Pinterest. There's a million free ones that other people have created that you can use to give to your challenge groups. Or in the program materials, we have a ton of meal plans as well. So be intentional with your time and do the things first that are going to move your business forward. And again, for me, that was literally an hour a day, not much more. Number 3 is learning from those who have already been successful, which, like I said, props to you for being on this call. And like I said as well, I learned everything I know from YouTube and Google, everything. So while your upline can probably give you answers, you will probably find it 10 times faster by Googling it. So if there was a specific area of coaching that I felt like, this is just challenging for me, or I can feel that like I don't want to do this, or I'm hesitating, or if you're someone who kind of gets in a rut with inviting, or you take a few days off and then you're like, I don't want to invite anybody, then I would say go watch trainings on that, and like binge watch trainings on it when you're in the car, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're on a walk. Like, just listen to what other people have done and how they have said things specifically for inviting, if that's kind of your like thing that holds you back. Because I feel like the more you just hear how other people have done it and how they've done it successfully, you can kind of devise your plan for how you want to do it that fits you. So again, hear me out. Don't take somebody else's invite and then just make it like what you're going to say. Make it your own, your wording. You know what I mean? The other thing that's really funny that I binge watch YouTube trainings on is like how to pose for Instagram photos. It's like my favorite one to share, because whatever it is in coaching where you're like, I feel like I'm weak in this area. You guys, if you want a good laugh, just scroll way the heck back in my Instagram and you'll see I'm just like you. Like, I'm really average. I really sucked at taking photos. And it's something I was like, okay, I want to learn and grow in this area. So I'm going to spend time hearing from other people who have done it better, and change and learn and grow and fail forward. So learn from those who have already gone before you. Binge watch trainings on the areas that you feel like you're weaker in. And you guys, you have to do your crap. You have to show up for your power hours every day. This is something I tell my team and we say often is like, hashtag do your crap, because you cannot grow in this business if you're not going to show up for your job. If you didn't show up for your job for a week, you would get fired. You'd probably get fired after 2 days. So like, would you fire yourself right now? Whether that's a part-time job or a full-time job, like, would you fire yourself, or are you showing up for your business every day? Being on team calls, like I said, is a great example of showing up. Number 4 is believing that you're capable of doing this. You have to believe that you're capable of doing this. You have to. Because if you don't believe in yourself, everybody watching you is not going to believe in you. You've got to be the one that says, I'm going to do this and you guys should watch me. Right? Like, you don't have to have it figured out. You're going to learn as you go, but you've got to believe that down the road, you're going to hit those big, scary goals that you want to hit. Again, there was plenty of coaches who had started at the same time as me that grew way faster than me, that found success way faster than me. But I had my blinders on and I could care less what those coaches are doing. I still feel that way. There's other coaches who are on that top whatever board. You guys, I hardly even look at those boards because I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about their businesses. I'm focused on the people I am helping. And I know that I am helping my family. I'm helping my clients. And what other coaches are doing in their business does not matter to me. So put your blinders on and believe that you're capable. And maybe it takes you 1 year to hit that goal. Maybe it takes you 5. Does it matter? No. Like, just believe that you're gonna reach it and quit putting a timeline on when this has to happen by. This is where personal development will be a game changer. You guys, we all know that people skip personal development first on their vitals, right? Like, if we're doing a little bit of a gut check, that's the one that you skip most often, isn't it? And for me, I started with the compound effect. And I'm so picky about personal development. Like, if you are boring me, I will not read you anymore. And I do majority of them on audiobook. And if you're a bad audiobook reader, I'm not listening to you. But the compound effect was super good. And I really feel like as a new coach, that gave me like the mindset and the vision that I needed to know this isn't going to happen overnight. This isn't going to be something that I look back in 2 months and be like, oh my God, I'm rich. But this is something I'm just going to build brick by brick. And I have to trust the process that it's going to happen. But you have to believe that it's going to happen. You have to believe that you putting that one brick on a day is going to build the house. I promise y'all, there's literally nothing special about me. If there's anything special about me, it's that I believed that I could do this. And that's probably the one characteristic that all of the coaches who are finding success right now have in common, because there's a lot of different coaches out there who are good at this. So reverse engineer your goals. What do you want to be by the end of the year? And don't tell me diamond, because you should want to be diamond in like 2 or 3 months. But what do you want to be by the end of the year? And then think, okay, if I want to be this by the end of the year, that means in 6 months, I need to be halfway to that goal. Okay, in 3 months, that means I need to be halfway to that 6-month goal. And that way you can set these milestones for yourself that are very short-term realistic and get you to your goal by the end of the year. And you know how many goals I've set and not hit, y'all? A lot. And you know what I do? I just reset my goals. I'm not like, I'm a sucky coach or that's never going to happen for me. I'm like, okay, we missed that one. Time to reset the goals and try again. I will never believe that I'm a bad coach, because the moment I start believing that is the moment that my challengers don't believe in me either. So you've got to believe that you're capable of doing this so that other people will believe that you're capable of doing this. And then last thing I want to say is you've got to just go for it. You've got to go for it. If you're telling me that you want to be a full-time coach, you're telling me that you want to earn $500 a month to help your family, then go do it. Like, why would you not? What's stopping you? You're too busy? You feel like no one wants to say yes to you? Then you need to do personal development, first of all, if you feel like no one wants to say yes, because that's a mindset thing. And you've just got to get out and invite people. You've got to get out of your own head, sit down and do your power hours. And if something's not working in your business, then you need to just change it a little bit and then try that. And if that one doesn't work, then you tweak it and try again. Set a date for your challenge group if you're not running your own group. That's the backbone of our business, y'all. If you're not running a challenge group, you need to be running a challenge group. And then just fail forward. It's not going to be perfect. My first challenge group was probably a disaster, but they had no idea. And I just learned each time, okay, this worked. I'm going to keep doing that. This didn't go over so well. Let's change that for next time. But I just went for it. I didn't wait until I feel ready. I didn't wait until I had all the knowledge. I just dove in. So if you hear me say anything, hear me say these 2 things, because this is the secret to being a successful coach, is you have to show up for yourself in your business You have to believe that you're capable of doing it, and you cannot quit on yourself. If you do those 3 things, you're going to build a successful business over time. You've got to stick it out and wait for the momentum to pick up and for those goals to start happening. The only way to fail at this business is to quit. I take that back. The only way to fail at this business is to quit or to not show up for it. Other than that, you're going to build a business. Okay, those are the things I wanted to share. I would love if you guys have any specific questions to answer them. Amy, do you have anything else?
No. Oh my God. That was amazing. I took tons of notes. It's actually really funny, not funny that you said that, because that's literally like what I've been talking about for the last few days, or what's really like hit me the most, I guess. Just like thinking back over this last week is that like, it doesn't happen overnight. Like we are, and you know, you can relate everything back to like your coaching, your fitness journey, but like so many people get in this mindset. They just want a quick return. Like they want quick results. They want the thing tomorrow. And you know, that's something that's really hard for me, because that's something that I battle with. And I think with coaching, it's probably one of the things that has been my mindset battle, because like you, it's like I set the goals, and have I always reached them? No. But it's like, and every time that happens, of course it sucks a little bit. And like, you know, you can choose to either let it keep you down, or you can choose to reset the goal and use it as like a new, you know, sounding board to propel off of.
Totally.
Right? Take what you know, learn from that failure and see where you need to lean in. You know, I guess like that's the thing that I feel like I preach to everyone, because like you, like I said in the chat, like my coach quit like right after I started coaching. So I didn't have like an immediate upline. Her upline didn't work the business, you know, but we all come from downlines, right? And we all come from probably a strong organization of some kind. Like that's not an excuse, okay? So I just love the fact that you have that resilience, because I think that resilient factor of just refusing to quit and having that long game like vision is really all that it comes down to. Because like you said, I really truly believe like anything over time, eventually it's going to fall into place, you know? But I think one of my, oh, I totally forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, I say like every time like something goes wrong, or every time something doesn't happen, I don't see it as a sign to quit. I choose to see it as a sign that, okay, like I'm on the right path, but I need a redirect. Like I need a gut check, you know? And I need to like, whatever I feel like I'm struggling in, that's where I need to go pour my attention into. So whether that's leadership, or whether that's inviting, or whether that's Instagram, whatever it is in this season, in this moment of your business, you know, like it's not a, you know, having things be hard isn't a burden. It's really truly the lesson. It's the thing that's necessary, right, for us to learn and grow, is for things to be hard and for us to find our way through it, you know? Does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, I can totally rattle off some. I have a bunch. Well, everyone's being shy. Just unmute yourself if you have a question. I want to know kind of like when that momentum really shifted for you. Like, I know you said a year and a half in is when you went full time. I know for me personally, like I went full time before I was ready to go full time. Like I hit 2-star. I set the date, like I'm going full time by this date. And I was mostly matching my nursing income, not super consistently, but I was at the level, I paid off enough debt, all the things. I was like, all right, I'm doing this. And I don't, you know, everyone has their own line in the sand, but like that was mine. And but there are so many nurses and so many, you know, women in healthcare on our team, and I know many of them don't quite know yet if they want to do, like, if they ever want to do it full time, like, me or whatever, like they don't know for sure. And I think that's what's a beautiful thing about this is you don't have to. It's about having the ability to choose. But like, when did you feel that momentum shift in your business where you felt like you were just like you were just doing your thing, you were hitting Success Club or whatever, like then you really felt like your team started to take off?
Yeah. So I started in October of 2016, and I was really winging it for the first probably 5 or 6 months. And then in maybe March of 2017, I went to Josh Coates' first ever little like conference thing he put on. And there was like 150 people there. Like it was so small. But this girl who was the same age as me was talking on stage. She was a 6-star diamond, and she was telling me about her 6-figure income, and I was just like, she's the same age as me, like, and she is very normal, just like me. And so if she can do it, I can do it. And I was listening to how she had her like set power hour times every day. And that's the moment I started doing those. Okay, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and every day from 5 to 6, I'm doing my work. So that didn't really start till like March or April of 2017. So I'd been coaching for about 5 or 6 months. I would say that is when I started to mentally build momentum, like with myself. I think when I was probably, well, it would have been before Summit that year was when we went Diamond. I was probably like 8 or 9 months into coaching when I finally went Diamond, which you guys go Diamond faster than that. I took forever. And then I literally sat at Diamond, and our team was just like slowly but surely building and growing. And it's like all these people were building at the same time. And then, gosh, over the course of like 3 months, we went from Diamond to 5-star. Like everybody just started popping at the same time. So that was probably right at a 1.5 years in. I think I was maybe a 1-star when I officially went full time. So I wasn't even 2-star. I didn't even have my second CBC. It's kind of funny, like thinking back, but I was building enough income with my, own commissions and stuff that I felt comfortable going full time. And y'all, honestly, like if you are in healthcare, what a better profession to be in and do coaching at the same time, because I do love nursing. I was very stressed in the hospital doing full-time bedside nursing, but I love taking care of people in that capacity. I feel like I'm a very knowledgeable nurse. And so I'll always probably do it PRN in some capacity. And I feel like that's a kind of a nice cushion that we get to have as nurses or healthcare professionals, whatever you are, is we have the option of PRN. So that allows us to maybe pour more into nursing while also still getting to have this other way of, kind of having a secure career, if that makes you feel better. So that I always think of that as such a gift and something I'll probably always do in some capacity. But anyway, I would say probably that like right before that 1.5 years in mark was really where I felt like I'm going to sustain this as a full-time job. I'm going to sustain this as a full-time income. But you guys, that's a 1.5 years. You know how many people don't stick it out for a 1.5 years because they're like, oh, not making enough money yet. Like I'm 3 years into coaching, and this last year was the first year that we made 6 figures as a family. Like, what if I had quit after my first year because I was like, oh, we didn't make enough money this year? Like, my income did not grow overnight. My momentum and team did not grow overnight. And 3 years in the corporate world or in nursing or in whatever is nothing, you guys. Like, what is your income going to grow in 3 years in like your current job right now? Because I know as a nurse, my income would have grown like a penny an hour. They do not give you raises. So just puts into perspective, like, yeah, 3 years showing up every day for coaching kind of feels like a grind, but it's really not that long if you think about like where you would be with your current career in 3 years. So just keep it in perspective. And again, the compound effect really helped me to think about the big mo, like pumping the well until the water just starts flowing. And I think for me, that really was right around that 1.5 years mark.
Mm-hmm. So do you still do Like, do you still stick? I honestly, I agree with you about the inviting thing. That was the other thing I wanted to touch on, because um, I believe you have to set you have to set as a new coach, and obviously you can change this as you go along, as you get more comfortable, whatever, based on your goals. But like, I feel like you have to set a standard, you know, something you commit to consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just having this conversation the other day, because for me, it's the same thing like with my workouts. Like, I suck at taking rest days. I just do. I always have been. Like, I hate rest days. Like, so even on my rest day, I'll still like do something, right? I'm just like that kind of person. And so when it came to coaching, my coaching work and like that daily routine, I'm someone that thrives off consistency. So I stick to my routine. It makes me feel my best, like all of those things. So I have always been a Monday through Sunday inviter for most of my coaching career. It's only still recently that I've sort of started to kind of play around with shifting that. I just think social media has changed, my market has changed, that I'm trying to adapt with it. But in the very beginning, like, yeah, I remember like I set a goal, like a daily goal. Like, it was like, at first it was probably 5 invites, and then it was like 10 invites, and then it was like 10 to 15 invites, and now it's like, I try to do 20 invites, but like everyone is so different. And I don't know. And that's what's hard about it, is like, you can't set that standard for somebody else, right?
Totally.
You have to figure out what is doable for you and do it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So like, is that something that's evolved for you, or is it something that you still kind of stick to this day, or is that just like your bare minimum thing?
So at this point, that's my bare minimum. I will always invite at least 3 to 5 people a day. I will say, I do think the most, like, quote unquote challenging part of coaching is being a new coach, because you are trying to build, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, trust with the people who are watching you. Because there's a lot of people who sign up for businesses like this, stick around for a couple months, and then they peace out. And so people are watching, and in the back of their minds kind of thinking like, is she gonna quit? Is she gonna go somewhere? Because nobody wants to sign up with a coach who's gonna quit on them, right? Like, they want to sign up with someone that they have trust in and that they have seen build credibility. So I will say, over the course of coaching and showing up consistently, I think I've built credibility with people that only comes with time. But that's something that any of us can build with the people that are watching us. So I would say probably for the first year, I personally invited everybody. Like, it was me sending those 3 to 5 invites every single day. Since then, I would say it has slowly shifted to where people will message me, or I'll be able to put up an invite on my social media and people will actually message me. That took time. That didn't happen overnight, and it took a lot longer than I thought it would. But I think that just comes with the momentum, and it was something I looked forward to, like hearing other coaches who had been in it longer than me say, like, this part gets easier. So yes, I am still inviting at least 3 to 5 people a day. But I also have people that will talk to me and have those conversations at this point. So I'm probably like inviting closer to 10 to 15 a day. And I was just telling my mother-in-law this the other day. She was like, do you work super hard at coaching? And I was like, man, like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm working that hard, but my husband was saying, like, no, you work pretty hard. I do think I put in probably more work than I give myself credit for. Like, if I'm on my phone on social media, I'm working. Like, I really don't use social media for just like wasting time. If I'm going to be on my phone, I'm going to be building my business. Like, that's just kind of the achiever in me, and not wanting to waste time. So I hope that answered your question. Probably, if I'm like encapsulating everybody, sending 10 to 15 a day, and I am constantly building relationships and having conversations. I think that's the best thing you can do for your business, is always be building your warm market. And so I spend a lot of my time doing that, just building relationships with people, being a real human, building credibility, and that makes the inviting process so much easier. I will say I probably once a month now have like power invite weeks, like the week before I'm getting our challenge group set up, I will kind of max out my inviting mental capacity. So like last week I had one day where I sent like 70 invites and I was like, what am I doing? But some days you just get super excited and amped. And so I'm going to take those days where I have the energy and I have the capacity and use them. Is that my norm? Absolutely not. But some days I do like have a little bit of a power invite day. So yes, I have a bare minimum. But also if I have days where I feel like I have more energy or more time, then I will kind of step it up. And I think that's really helpful.
Awesome. That's super helpful. Does anyone have any questions?
I have one.
Yay, Alex. Coming
How
in.
much time do you typically spend like growing your following and engaging? Like what is like in like 5 words? Like I don't know how, because I don't want you to have to go on a huge tangent about it. But how are you typically like gauging your new followers and gaining new followers basically?
So literally today I set a timer for 10 minutes while I was sitting on the couch next to my husband. And I just found a girl who I went to college with, her profile, who I'm like, okay, we have similar interests and values. I went to the people that follow her and I just followed like a bunch of people for 10 minutes. And I probably 1/10 of those people follow me back. And that's kind of the process I'm going through at this point. And then again, anytime I'm like on social media is my like spending time to engage with people. So my time will get sucked up so fast if I just watch people's stories. So I do not try to spend time doing that. I know some coaches will be like, watch stories and engage on their stories. Maybe that works for you, but it is a time suck for me. So I would prefer to scroll through the feed and just comment every single post that I scroll past. And again, you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes doing that, and you're gonna get a ton done with connecting in that way. And I feel like for me, that's been the best way to grow engagement at this point.
Right. Yeah.
So 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of do the same exact thing too, but I do kind of like look at people's stories and react, because I feel like a lot of people are responding to my stories more so than like my posts. So like that's what I've been doing. But it's usually like I'll watch the people like who are like really engaging with me, like building that new warm market.
Yeah, and if that works for you, great. I just feel like for the amount of time that I was spending watching stories,
It definitely can be a wormhole.
It's all sucked in.
Anybody else? Okay, guys. Well, Julie, that was freaking awesome. I took so much away from this call, and I think everybody did. I'm going to speak for them since they're not saying anything. But that it was honestly just so many takeaways, so many nuggets. So I thank you for taking the time, and I'm so excited for you guys. Oh, I love your energy, Julie. Oh, that's so sweet. All right. But like I said, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you have your little one, and this is probably like, what time is it? Where are you in Central Time? Like, where are you?
Yeah, Central, 7:45.
Oh, okay. Good. I know that's kind of like a witching hour. Like, is that a witching hour, the 8 p.m.?
My husband is amazing. He puts our child to bed every night at like 6:30.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Oh,
I know.
I pray that is what happens. What it won't happen, but we can wish. But
Yes.
thank you so much, Julie, and I will see you guys later. I'll get the recording up tomorrow. Thanks,
Bye, y'all.
guys.
Thanks for having